You guys remember I mentioned that there was news that Gogo Manzini had passed away. Now, there was a video that I think many people maybe didn't see on his page. And that video reminded me of a certain Bible verse. I'm going to play you that portion of the video. Doesn't need interpretation. It's in English. And then we'll go to the verse. So just give me a second. It's the Actuality Show, the daily Christian commentary videos. This is the video right here. It was posted about 2 weeks ago. And actually, even if you actually check the title on his channel, not on mine, no. On his channel, it says, I almost died in Tanzania. So, Sangomas travel around to get jujus and whatnots and all these kind of things. And so, that was the title on this video 2 weeks ago. Now, listen to the experience that he explained in the video right here.
It's been the toughest trip for me. And gunama tests that you go through as a traditional healer or as a ritualist. Now, as a client, kuba nama test man abakhona number and things like that. So last night we almost had an accident.
This was 2 weeks before.
Imoto iwele emgodini when we were driving ebusuku from a ritual.
So we came from a ritual, and then coming from there, the car had an accident. Is there a reason, or so that I am not overthinking? How did he interpret it?
So those are all signs. Everything in this culture, it happens for a reason. And first thing first, my cars, they don't in our big accident. It doesn't happen. Never. It was the first time yesterday. And that was not an accident, that was a message from the gods. Uguti, there's something you did wrong in the middle of the ritual.
So, the accident was interpreted in this manner, that it's a message or in between the ritual, there was an error. We don't deal with forgiveness, only punishment. And they function by principles, these spirits that they think. When it comes to God, error, forgiveness. Error, forgiveness. With these spirits, so that was the interpretation. It's not me who is interpreting. He's interpreting it himself. The video, I'll leave it in the description below. You can go and see it yourself. I didn't manipulate the video. That's what the video says. 2 weeks before. Okay.
There's something that you did wrong. It can be before you came here. There's something that you did wrong, so that is why we have consequences. That's number one. Number two, we go to the river. Remember, I did say to you that there's rituals that I do, especially for money rituals, big money rituals. I don't remember doing a video about them, but I do remember giving you guys a hint about them, where you do a ritual and then we take you to umnikazi wamanzi, the owner.
They go to Bazalani, these rituals with money. I once did a video about Hamaskral. If you look at on the channel, there's a video about Hamaskral. The guys who were in that ritual all died. They were all taken to meet this umnikazi wamanzi. It's a serpent being. It's a serpent spiritual being or a serpent spiritual demon for financial. Please stop going to these things. When I made that video, I think it was 2 years or 3 years back, the young men that were in there with the prophet who sent them there, or who, when they went to do this ritual at 12 o'clock at midnight, all died. There was one guy who survived. And we got to interview that guy. We got to interview the guy who survived. It's with a sad heart that I'll tell you, that guy, after a while, also died. Stop going to these rituals. Now, so they were going to these rituals about monies and whatnot.
Of the river. And then we take you to Umnikazi Wamanzi, the owner of the river. So what happens when you go to see Umnikazi Wamanzi or Wentaba or whatever that you go to? If it's a snake, if it's a pig, it's what. So
in their version of the ritual, in the ritual that I was talking about from those guys, from Hamaskral, they didn't see. They could only feel, because they had to enter the water. They could only feel it in the water. So in their version, of course, because they cover you and what, you might see something.
We had a quarrel, Sinai. And
Wait.
if it's a pig, it's whatever that you go to. If it's a snake, if it's a pig, it's what. So
whatever animal it appears as, whether it be as a pig or what.
We had a quarrel, Sinai.
They had a quarrel.
I ended up in Limal. It was not really a quarrel.
And he got hurt in this. It's not a quarrel, he's going to explain. Came out too quickly, unexpectedly. And so it created an environment where he got hurt. So he got hurt. Now, he got hurt. He got cut. On the leg.
Right? So
now you see, if you've followed any amount of conversations concerning spiritual practices, there is no average cut. There is no cut that's just, but I'll leave it there. Let's go on.
It's a tough life. Have you ever had a fight with an animal? And it's not fighting with you. It's just that it came the time you were not expecting it. So must say now so bamba because you're ready for any action. Last night was bad. Last night was bad. So imoto it parked lying in a corner.
So that video was posted 2 weeks before the supposed death, the passing. There is no cut, especially in this rituals. There is no cut that's random. These things of the spirit, they function like that. There's no, even if you have a just. I remember one particular person explaining the passing away of another guy. He mentioned there was a certain person who was involved in rituals and whatnot, and this person passed away in a car accident. The car burst into flames, and they said this particular car does not do that. Like This car has all kinds of safety measures. And with all those safety measures, the car would not have burst into flames. But in the situation of this person, it did. And this person was explaining this thing and said, you see, when these things, all fail, all things will fail, all measures will fail. Everything what looks impossible becomes. Now, the verse that I said I wanted to show you guys, this verse, I believe, is important for many reasons. I think sometimes we forget this verse, but it says a lot. This is Genesis chapter number 6. The Bible says that, so the Lord said, my spirit will not contend with men forever, for he is mortal. His days shall be 120. Okay? And then it says the Nephilims were on the earth on those days and afterward. And then it says, so the sons of God, relations with the daughters of men, and they bore children who became mighty men of old, basically, the Nephilims, you may call them that. And then it then says, then the Lord saw that there was wickedness, saw that the wickedness of man was great upon the earth, and that every inclination of his thoughts and of the thoughts of his heart was altogether evil all the time. You see right there, this verse tells you why we should not interact with the spirits anywhere. You can see here the interaction with the spirits caused an evil on the earth. The interaction with the spirits caused an evil around men. Now you see, now people are now having all these rituals. They're going to do what? They're going to manipulate life. They're going to do all these things. And so what it does is that you are interacting with these beings that cause a certain type of an evil on the earth that God detests. So that verse warns us why we should not interact with these things. We should just not interact with them, because the interaction will create problems. We should just not interact with them. He says when he was doing this ritual, he says it's a tough life. We should not be there to begin with. God has placed a certain life for us. When we start to seek what God has not put for us, we will create problems. When we start wanting what God has not put for us, we will create problems. He says he got hurt when this being appeared, and in that hurt he got scuffed. And from that scuff, he comes back 2 weeks later. We should not be interacting with these beings as a whole. Unfortunately, the sciences of men, whether it be in Ubungoma or in voodoo or what, seeks to do so. But this is a danger. And I hope you can see why we ought not to. That verse right there should tell you why we should not to. It causes a certain type of an evil that God detests. So be careful. Y'all have a very wonderful day, and I'll see you on later on. Stay blessed.